at a property of ours in Williamstown. Thought I'd give you a video walk round. Sort of a different one, this one. Sourced by one of our sources, Ali Awan. He's actually on the live, big shout out. But sourced for our own portfolio. It had our tenants in situ. So essentially what we did is we spoke to the tenants. We asked if they would be happy to move out during the renovation because we didn't want to kick them out. You know, they're a long-term tenant. They've been in for 13 years, which is absolutely awesome. On top of that, they weren't paying a very good rent, so we agreed with them that they would pay an uplifted rent after we had done the refurbishment. And yeah, that's pretty much the ins and outs of this deal. I'll talk about the figures. I'll talk about them now. So we purchased the property for £70,000. The renovation, so it's probably going to come, we're running it on trades ourselves, and we're running it and project managing it ourselves. It's probably going to come in at around about £20,000, and we've literally had one valued about 6 doors down, literally just that way for a client, and it valued up at 120. However, I think that was a down value. The client was happy with it. It was what we presented to them to begin with. 120 we thought we would get, but in this current market I was expecting more like 125, 130. I think it was a down value, but the client didn't want to go through the whole process of appealing and going through another lender and stuff. He was just happy with that. So yeah, I think this will get about 125 on the M value. So a really good deal. The rental value that we've uplifted it to was $550 per calendar month. The one just down the road we actually did rent for $650, but this tenant is can only pay the $550. She maybe can pay a little bit more. We're currently in negotiations with her, but she's a long-term tenant, been around for 13 years. Her mum literally lives just down the road, and that's where she's staying while we're doing the refurbishment. As I give you a tour around the property, you will see her furniture. We've had to cover all her furniture and stuff when we're ripping down walls, ripping off wallpaper and stuff like that. But yeah, it's almost like we've become the mayor of this area, to be honest, because literally, I'll just show you, we had a direct-to-vendor viewing, literally here. I'm going to turn this camera around. We had a direct-to-vendor viewing at that property there the other day. We've had a direct-to-vendor viewing of that property over there as well. We have already sourced onto clients number 25 just down the road and number 47 just down the road, all on the same road. And then obviously we bought this one for our own portfolio, so we've done quite a lot around this area. But yeah, I'll give you a little tour of the property and show you what we're doing here. So at the front we've got this front door that we're changing. We're going to be changing this for a nice PVC stylish door, probably supply and fit. We're looking at around about £700. It's probably going to be a grey Blenheim sort of one. As you walk in here, you can see the stop tab is here. I don't particularly like the stop tap being here, so we are going to get in contact with Welsh Water in order to get that moved. And at this stage as well, we like to sink pipes and stuff. We like to get rid of all the pipes, all the electrics and stuff. So we've actually ripped this property out now. We're almost finished of ripping this property out. What we then need to do is have the plumbers in and the electricians in to just come in, do their first fix and just get things buried, basically. As you can see, the electrics here, not modern electrics, definitely won't pass and get a cert. So basically what we're doing is we're having a full electrical rewire. When we're at this stage and we're going back to the back to the shell, pretty much what we might as well do is get the full rewire in. We probably could have run a few cables and stuff and got away with it, but no, let's just do it all when we're back at this stage. Just get a full electrical rewire in. Yeah, so as you can see here, we've got a staircase here. We've got a new staircase. See, this is amazing, right? We've bought this staircase for about 250 I think it was 250 to 400 pound from Howdens, and it's a straight staircase. Because as you can see how wobbly that staircase is? It's completely gone. It's like so what our carpenter's going to do is he's going to run the staircase. It needs to come back a bit because the pitch is a bit too high for building regs as well. So we're pulling the staircase this way. This is no longer going to be our doorway because we're going to block that up because the stairs have got to come this way, and then we're going to create a new doorway here. But these stairs are going to be straight up to there, and then what our carpenter's going to do is he's going to tie them into these top level here, and then we've got a nice turn there. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and that's why that staircase is there. But the plasterers have asked us to make sure we do this before the plasterers come in, so currently in the process of doing that. So we've just recently had our damp survey back from the damp specialists, and they have indicated that this wall is going to have to be hacked off 1 metre high. So, you know, rising damp goes up to it sometimes goes a little bit higher than 1 metre high, but we reckon by recommendations from the damp surveyors, we're going to hack off 1 metre high. We're then going to inject with the foam injections that they do, and then put it back to a plastered wall. Another wall that's affected is that wall as well. I'll actually show you the damp in this wall. See, now we've ripped off all the wallpaper and stuff. Can you see the salts here? The salts are just coming out in the wall and it's bubbling. And as I come down here, you can see it all, look. That's clear signs that there's some damp going on here, look. So they've indicated that there's rising damp, so we're going to put a damp proof course in order to prevent that happening in the future. As we've stripped out the property here as well, it's gone, you know, dado rails off, all the coving off, all the skirting off, all the floors are up. It's quite a bit of a job, actually, to be honest with you, with the furniture around, because obviously and it's taken a little bit longer than anticipated, just because we're having to move furniture around while we're ripping up floors and stuff. But as you can see, this ceiling is lath and plaster. That lath and plaster is coming down. We don't like lath and plaster ceilings, especially because they're always just flexing and they can crack the plaster very easily. So that's coming down. I've basically come in here today after the rip out to assess the property and just have a look at basically what I'm going to do at this stage. Now it's ripped out, like, you know, look at the foundations, look at the structure, look at the walls, look at the ceilings, and just assess what needs to come down. So things like that are coming down. Any other lath and plaster will be coming down. Any, you know, black mortar that's crumbling, it's coming out. So yeah, another thing. So obviously these stairs are a bit wobbly, but the floors upstairs, I'll go up there in a minute, but the floors upstairs are a little bit uneven. And that gave, you know, that sort of rang alarm bells that this RSJ that's currently here isn't sufficient to hold up the first floor. So I asked our carpenter to basically start chipping away at it, as you can see, and he has confirmed that it is timber. So to building regs at the moment, and just to make sure we're sufficient for the longevity of the investment, what we're going to do is we're going to have a structural engineer here next week. We're going to speak about actually putting a sufficient steel beam there that can hold the first floor up sufficiently. But on top of that, what we're also going to do is just jack up the floor a little bit to make it a bit more level up the top. What the advantage is with this property is it's all timber and stud and plasterboard walls upstairs. If it was masonry, we'd probably have to take out all the masonry walls because it wouldn't really budge, but we can jack it up and it's only timber and plasterboard, so there might be a slight crack in, but we're all good because we're getting it all skimmed out anyway. So yeah, this is the nice open plan living room. Here, we've just had our kitchen plan back from Howden's, but this is going to be the kitchen. We're going to sugar soap all of that, get it all clean, and then give it a nice plasterboard board over and a skim. So, in regards to, I'll put a photo, upload a photo soon on our story as well of the kitchen plan for in here. It's really nice. It's like a dove grey kitchen from Howden's. Looks really nice. Oak effects sort of worktop. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a service on this boiler, see how it is operating. I've let the plumber know that basically, you know, if it has had its sell by date, let's just get a new one. Let's get a guarantee, a warranty, and let's just get a new one in. The ideal boilers aren't too expensive to have a warranty for 5 years, so that's all good. I don't particularly like the ideas of all these pipes running along here, but it's a rental. You don't need to go to the massive extent. So what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to box those off after in a flip. Maybe I would, run new pipes and run them in the ceiling and get rid of them basically completely. But that's where we're at with this. The garden, to be honest with you, she's looked after it, the tenant. It's all pretty good in here. It's bloody pouring down in Wales as usual. I don't know whose bed that is, but I don't think they'll be sleeping out on that. Yeah, so this is the kitchen. Lock this door and then I'll take you into the bathroom. So here we have the bathroom in here. It's an unusual sort of one, but I suppose it's not unusual for South Wales valleys. It's like this everywhere. So we have the bathroom here. There's a wall there. The reason there's a wall there is because the shower screen. We wouldn't have the shower screen here, and then you'd have your head up there, which would look a bit odd. I mean, what we could do is we could block off the window, move the window a little bit, but really there's not really much need for that, and it's unnecessary for a rental around this area. So essentially what we're going to do is we are going to get the rest of these tiles off. As you can see, a lot of the tiles have come off. We're going to run our shower screen along here, head of the shower up there, and this is going to be a brand new bathroom suite in here. It's still set to be ripped out, this bathroom suite. We usually leave the toilet in anyway, just for the contractors throughout the refurbishment. But yeah, as you can see, this is the bathroom. So to go upstairs now and show you what we're doing. To be honest with you, there's not much going on upstairs. It's not too bad. So this is way too low, and this is not to regs. So what we're going to be doing there is we're just going to put in a dwarf wall. A lot of people will put in the banisters and stuff, but a dwarf wall so much cheaper. Just some timber, some plasterboard, give it a little plaster, put in a bit of MDF on the top. Quick little jobs, usually 250, 300 quid. So not that bad. All radiators off, ready for the plumber to come in next week. And the electricians coming in next week as well. So around the windows, the tenant had basically been complaining about the fact that there was condensation and stuff. I did ask her if she opens the windows on a regular basis. She said yes. But what we're going to have to do here is put some trickle vents into the windows, give it some more circulation, and hopefully that condensation will start subsiding. Yeah, so not really much going on up here. I have come in just to assess certain things because there are things like a damp stain up here. It is dry, but I want to know what the original issue was. So I am going to go and have a look up in the attic, but no access at the moment. So I will be making access to go up there and have a look what's going on, because it's the same over here as well. But yeah, that is pretty much Project Edmond's Town. I know on the beginning of the live I did go over the figures, but I'm going to go over them again just for the to conclude, and also for the people who missed it. So we got this property in from basically a landlord who was a retired landlord, basically had tenants in here. We managed to negotiate it down due to the fact it had tenants, and negotiated it down to £70,000 purchase price, which is awesome. The tenants are moving out to she's moving out to her mum's house, which is literally just down the road, and staying there while we do the renovation. She is coming back. We're going to get it revalued, probably at around about the 125, 130 mark. The work involved is going to be about £20,000, and she's looking to pay 550 plus on the rent.